What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. We have a bunch of stuff to go over today, including the Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2 got a release date, got a price, details about a physical copy, which is kind of where I think Capcom cheaped out a bit, something we're going to go over later on today. And then we also got more information about Shin Megami Tensei 5, where it seems to be ramping up in production, which sounds pretty exciting for people who are looking forward to it. And we find out that somebody said, hey, you know what? I want this Kinect to work on my Xbox One X without having to buy the adapter. There's a bunch of stuff to go over. Let's get started, guys. So Capcom sent out a full press release on their website and to media talking all about Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2 on the Nintendo Switch. We knew it was coming this year at some point. We figured earlier on because, of course, we have the X Collection, 2 games from what we've seen coming out at some point, and then Mega Man 11 coming out some point this year. Later on, it sounds like that might even be a November release at this point because they're going to have to squeeze in this X Collection as well. Seems to be kind of the year of Mega Man, I guess, with a lot of titles going to the Switch, and then, of course, the X Collection is going to everything along with Mega Man 11. Exciting for Mega Man fans, and the information we got about the Switch version is at least pretty interesting because we find out about the physical copy, and then we get the release date that is May 22nd of this year. So in a couple months, you'll be able to get the Legacy Collection 1 and 2. And they were so close with this. Look at the physical edition box art and tell me what you see right away. There's a download required with a micro SD card. Required, it looks like. This is so weird. It needs a download, but the games aren't super big. The physical copy will cost you $39.99, has Legacy Collection 1 on the cartridge. Legacy Collection 2 is a download code. The physical copy comes with this collector's edition cloth, I guess so you could wipe off your Switch, but you can also buy them digitally separately at $14.99 and $19.99, which means the physical copy is $5 more, despite only technically having one copy on that cartridge. Now, the reason I'm confused about this whole thing, and I think Capcom's cheaping out a bit here, because if you look at the file sizes for these on Steam, which it's more than likely a port from the Steam version over to just the PC version in general, over to the Switch, if you look at the file sizes, the first Legacy Collection is 380 megabytes. That's the one on the cartridge that they're selling to people right now. And then the Legacy Collection 2 is roughly 6 gigabytes. That one's pretty large. That's the one that has like Mega Man 8 on there from the PS1, Mega Man 9, 10, and 7. So it has all those Mega Mans on there, but that one is 6 gigabytes. Now, of course, they redid the engine and everything in both of them, so it's completely different. That's why that file size more than likely changed. But still, it's weird that they can't fit them both on one 8 gigabyte cartridge, unless there's something massive I'm missing here, because it seems like they'd easily be able to do that if one's 6 gigabytes, the other one's 380 megabytes, unless they figured, hey, we'll put it on the smallest cartridge possible, which I bet you there is probably a 1 gigabyte cartridge out there for the Switch. It's probably super cheap, but they're still charging people $5 more for this physical copy, so it's just odd. It's Capcom, I guess, cheaping out in this situation. They couldn't put both on there. They're going to make you download the bigger one, and then the one that would take minutes, not even, like less than a minute probably to download, is the one you get on that cartridge. So you don't even get both of them, which is, I don't know. I guess if you want the cloth, because at that point, the only thing you're really getting is Legacy Collection 1 physically, whereas the other versions have it physically on the disc. They also detailed amiibo support where you can scan the gold Mega Man according to them, and that will open up like fan-made challenges that were originally on the 3DS version. So a little extra there, I guess, for Switch owners. But still, I'm a little put off by the physical copy. I don't know if it's really worth even buying the physical one at this point. I guess just for a cloth and I guess the box art that has that terrible header at the top. They could have done something really cool with this box art. As a Mega Man fan, I'm kind of disappointed by this. I'll probably just get them digitally, to be honest. The second one I like a lot. I like the Legacy Collection 2 because I liked Mega Man 8, which some people is strange because of the voice acting. I just liked it. 9 and 10 were pretty good too. But of course, you can't go wrong with the original with all the NES games there. So let me know what you guys think about this with Capcom, the Legacy Collection 1 and 2, the physical copy, and everything else. Because it seems like we were super excited, and then I saw this, and I was like, so close. Next up, let's talk about probably the worst kept secret right now in video games when it comes to rumored games coming up, and that's Crash the Insane Trilogy that we believe is coming to other systems now that the PlayStation 4 exclusivity is running up. It came out in June. I guess sometime in June they'll announce it. But man, retailers just will not stop listing this thing. And then of course we hear the merchandising manager talk all about it. We get the rumor that comes out about it from different sources. And now here's just another retailer posting it. This showed up yesterday on Extra Life, and they put this listing out for Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch on its website, claiming a 2018 release. Not surprising. Again, we all pretty much know this is showing up on other systems. The Switch seems to be the most obvious at this point because people keep talking about the Switch version. PC, I think, makes a lot of sense too. The Xbox version is the one we just never hear about that one, but I feel like it's just going to everything. I mean, why not? You know, you'll get more money if you put it on the Xbox than if you didn't. So why wouldn't you put it on everything? I assume it's going to Xbox One, PC, and Switch, and we're just waiting for an announcement. We have to wait for this year of exclusivity to run up, so I guess in June. Maybe it's an E3 announcement. Maybe. In June, though, is probably where I see it getting announced when they give them that year of I guess, head start on selling. Next up, let's talk about Shin Megami Tensei 5. It's a game that we saw a while ago, like when the Switch was being unveiled and they showed all those games, they showed like a quick trailer for it, they showed Unreal Engine, and that was it. No gameplay, no nothing. We see another trailer later on that showed some, what we think maybe the visual style they're going with, and from then on it's been very quiet. Until recently, there was an interview, in this case with the producer of the game, talking to 4Gamer about how they are ramping up production and just pretty much ready to go at this point, saying, "At the start, the production of this project only had a few people at its core, with more and more people gradually becoming involved. Although this number is still increasing, I feel that the production staff has come together considerably to a point and reaching a milestone where we can say we've started full-scale development." Then again, that was by the Shin Megami Tensei 5 producer, Kazuyuki Yamai, and this is leaving some people a little in the dark, I guess, about when this launch could happen. When would this release happen if they've just now really started scaling up and getting production pretty much just going, like everything. It's pretty much all systems go here, and they're up to full production at this point. So they've done their pre-stuff, you know, getting the storyboarding ready and everything, and now they are coding, and they have the full team going. I don't know, because it's going to come out in Japan first, more than likely. I don't think it'll be a worldwide release. They'll put it out in Japan first, then they'll localize it everywhere else in the United States months later. So a lot of people are concerned that this could fall to 2020. I kind of had that thought as well, but if we're hearing about it now-ish, right? I'm not really sure. He could be talking about a little before, he could be talking about now, but if we're hearing now that it's in full-scale production, it could be a 2019 release at this point. Early 2019 release in Japan, summer here, summer in Japan, you know, late 2019 here. It's definitely not going to be a 2018 game if they're just now talking about full production, but the production could be a year, right? And then it comes out in either early 2019 or mid in Japan, and then a few months later. So it could be a fall 2019 release here in the United States. I'm glad to hear that it's pretty much full speed ahead here, and now they're really pushing for it, because I want to play this game and see what it's going to be like on the Switch. I want to see what they're going to go with here, and it seems like we're going to have to wait till 2019 at the earliest to see. Next up, let's talk a bit about the Kinect and the Xbox One X. If you haven't been following this, Microsoft did, they discontinued pretty much production on the Kinect, and they discontinued the adapter that lets you plug the Kinect into the S or the X model. If you didn't know, the original Xbox One had a port that you could plug that Kinect in, and it would just work. But they got rid of it with the revisions of the Xbox One S and the X. So now the cables are crazy expensive, hundreds of dollars, which is insane, by the way, because all it's doing is providing power with a USB pass-through pretty much. So in this case, a user online decided, well, I'll just modify the thing and make it work. And in a series of image posts over there on the Imager website, they show completely how to do it. And I gotta say, I looked through it, and it's not actually that complicated. What they're using is pretty much a USB-A to B adapter, so they just plug it in, and then cut it. They're pretty much hacking up a power adapter, and then just solder it on to provide power to the Kinect. And it kind of comes out as two cables, but I could see how you could kind of wind it up as one. You plug one into the USB port on the X, and then you plug the other part into the wall, and you have a complete working Kinect with your Xbox One X without that crazy expensive adapter. Doesn't seem too bad. I understand why some people don't want to get into it. When you hear soldering, you go, nah, not for me. I get it. It looks like you don't have to solder really two things though, so it's not too bad. If I really wanted to get into this, I would try it, but honestly, I don't use the Kinect, so I don't really care to do all of this, and it's where we've gotten to with this adapter being heavily gouged online. Kind of neat though to see a little DIY project though to get it working. And in our last bit of news, Rime got a patch that appears to be heavily fixing, or at least heavily improving, the Switch version. If you remember, a while ago, myself and pretty much everyone else that was reviewing the game or just checking out with gameplay noticed right away that there was something wrong with this port. It looked very bad, it ran terribly, there was bad stuttering, the frame rate was off, the resolution was really bad. It was just so fuzzy and blurry looking. Handheld mode, some of the pictures I took were just jaw-droppingly bad. I couldn't believe it. Well, apparently neither could they, because they did work hard to get this done. Greybox worked, of course, with Tequila Works, and they presented a patch 1.0.2 that seems to have some pretty strong improvements if you look at some of the videos and screenshots they've been posting. The patch is now available, and what it's done is increased visual fidelity, bloom, post-processing. They sharpened image resolution, which was a very big deal, I think, in handheld mode. The opening cinematics have visually improved. They fixed a number of stability bugs, and overall, it just looks better, and it runs better. The frame rate's been improved, and everything. So, while it was a very poor port when it first came out, I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. It appears that they have actually done something here and fixed it. I'm going to check it out myself just to see how much better it is, but based on people's early impressions and some of the stuff that's been posted with video and images, screenshots even taken from handheld mode, I think Rime on the Switch is fixed. I think if that's the case, it's worth buying. So there you go. For those who were waiting, good job. You're going to get a good version of Rime and not run the risk that I have at this point of something like WWE 2K18 that continues to be broken. So you know what? Blind Squirrel and 2K, why don't you take a page or at least an example here from Rime and get that game working, because there are a lot of people out $60 right now on that one. And then here's Rime, a much smaller developer and game, getting it right. So good job to Greybox, Tequila Works, making Rime better. And I'm excited to check it out on the Switch. I do have it on the other systems as well, but I'll enjoy checking it out on the Switch in handheld mode specifically, just to see how much better it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for Newswave today. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, guys. Really helps out. If not, hit the dislike. Leave a bunch of comments down below about everything we talked about today. Whether it is the Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2, I'm sure you're excited for it. I am, because it's really neat to have it on the Switch, even though I technically have it on the other systems. Specifically, I have it on the PC. I bought it pretty much right away when it was available, but still, it's cool getting it on the Switch as well. Let me know what you think about that physical copy, because that's the thing that kind of bugged me. I was really excited to possibly get it all in one cartridge, really nice looking box art. Not only do they ruin it with a download code, they pretty much cut off, 2/3 of the box art with that really ugly banner. I wish they stopped putting that banner. I guess they have to make it really obvious for people, but man, I just do not like that banner at the top. It just ruins the entire cover art. But let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about Shin Megami Tensei 5, the really production ramping up now. When do you think that's coming out? Because a lot of people who are thinking 2020, they might not be off for the US version. I do think the Japanese version will come out in 2019 at some point, whether it's early or late. And then, of course, the American version will follow a few months later. That part could fall into 2020, but hey, we'll have to see. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.